right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Alrighty, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Virginia is not back today. I guess they're coming back this afternoon. I don't know if it was predestined for that or if it was because of weather that they waited. We had not heard from Virginia. We tried to get a hold of her, but she might have lost her phone somehow. So I imagine we'll get a story and get caught up with what exactly happened and all that.
Or is it the option of they got back last night, she's in bed today, sipping on crawfish heads?
It's a great question. I guess we'll have to figure out. Now, we were going to be doing Do It Bitch today. We need 4 people to be able to do that game. And we had a perfect punishment for today. But, I mean, do we have to find another punishment or do we stick with what we had?
Stick with it. Our audience gets it. We'll explain it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they expect it not to make sense sometimes.
Well,
it's part of our charm.
It was Mardi Gras yesterday. Today's Ash Wednesday. So the losers would have to smoke a cigarette down a little bit till it gets a big old long ash. And then the winners get to use their mouth as an ashtray.
I mean, it's pretty effed up
Oh my gosh.
punishment.
Yeah. That's why it was awesome.
I might barf if I lose. Because first of all, just smelling cigarette smoke, I get nauseous. And then if I had somebody ash in my mouth.
Oh, it's pretty awful.
I think the thing I can't believe or don't remember is when just how long cigarette smoke lingers, and you can smell it so much
unreal,
in the
yeah.
elevator,
Right.
and it shows you that A, not as many people smoke cigarettes as they used to,
Yep.
and B, when they do, it stays in an elevator for about 10 to 15 minutes.
It's pretty wild because they smoke outside and then they walk all the way through a hallway to the elevator, and you're only in the elevator for what, 35 seconds? Mm-hmm. And then the elevator will smell like cigarettes for 4 hours.
I smell it like crazy. You
Same
get it
here.
sometimes into an Uber or whatever. You can tell that I detect cigarette smoke. I can smell. In fact, I have smelled it, and somebody is 25 or 30 yards away that just lit up a cigarette. And that's the one thing I can pick out faster than anything now.
And I know I sound like a broken record saying this, because I've said it many a times, but I'm still just blown away that we thought you could have a non-smoking section with a smoking section at
It
restaurants.
was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's not even a
Unbelievable we did
divider.
that.
Every time I bring it up, I just can't believe
They'd
it.
be in the same room. And
Yeah.
it's so weird to me.
What a fucked up rule.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think Virginia will be upset with that punishment idea tomorrow and pitch a fit, or?
She can't, because she just got off vacation. You cannot complain coming
she
off
can.
vacation. Well, of
I
course,
can.
She'll be weak, too.
She'll be weak. Unless she got sleep. If she got sleep, we are
Right.
screwed.
Yeah, that's what we got to find out. How did she behave? Because it was her first time drinking in 2 months when she went to Mardi Gras. So did she go completely ham and crazy, or did she keep it under wraps and just have a couple cocktails?
Did she get into just a few beers, or was it?
Was she massively twisted?
She turns into Urkel when she gets too effed up.
She put some stuff up on the stories, and now it's just, you don't really hear much audio. It's you put a music track, and it's like a fast cuts of all of her different stops. So it looks like she did a lot. So I would have to guess that she probably drank a lot, too.
Yeah, I am
Okay.
getting reports that there's at least a night that she got.
At least the night where she got turned.
She got
She
turned.
went for it.
And she didn't just
Yeah.
one night, right?
I would imagine. Yeah, once she gets in it and that alcohol hit her veins, it had to be like, oh my gosh. She had to feel so good.
Now, does she come back, bigger and better than before, or does she go back to kind of chilling out?
I think with this extra day, you're not going to see any kind of repercussions. I think she'll be as Virginia tomorrow. You won't see her, I'm so tired, like sleeping on the floor or anything like that.
Well, what I mean is she going to go back to kind of tapering it back, or does she go back
continue.
to full-on
Jump back
raging
into-
Cajun? Because you know how that goes when you come out of retirement.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck it, I'm back in it.
I would imagine if she can still see puffiness on the side of her face that she smacked on that table when she fell being hammered, I think she'll go back on the wagon. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I would think so, too.
When she's here, and she'll be like, yeah, that was just a special New Orleans thing.
Well, how long's the drive from there to here?
It's at least 10 hours. It might be more of a 12,
Well, 'cause
14.
They said they were getting ready to leave, so they haven't. I don't think they've left yet. So
Damn.
they might be. She might be kind of beat up tomorrow, right?
Or not in tomorrow.
If they leave today, they definitely. She'll come in tired.
Okay.
I feel like she's gonna come in weak.
Okay, if you won't believe.
Yeah, well, when we left Cincinnati, we did the family trip for Thanksgiving. We left right after the football game on Sunday at like 4, and it was, I think, about a 14-hour drive, 14 and a half hours. Yeah, because I remember rolling in. We were back at 8 or 9 a.m. And, yeah, I took the day off. No, I mean, I wouldn't have made it anyway by 6. But, yeah, I mean, you need a day just to kind of sleep and get your thoughts and everything together. So
The road can change a person, Denny's.
It does. It's weird. It makes you tired. You just get tired while driving.
You get tired and you think a lot. You're thinking and you're driving and you're thinking.
It all depends on the people riding with you, because sometimes if you have a good crew, then it's great. If everyone falls asleep and it's just you.
You're right though. When I went to Chipola Junior College, it was in Marianna, Florida, about an hour west of Tallahassee, and I would get so drowsy when I would drive by myself. And you wonder why that is. You got music playing.
Yeah.
You're alert because you don't want to die. You think you'd be straight up, but yeah, there's got to be something to that.
Ashley said that Virginia just posted all of her pics and videos on Instagram about 45 minutes ago.
I watched through a few of them.
Okay. Any tells there on what went down?
It looks like she did a lot. I mean, that's
Did
a
a lot?
definite.
Okay.
I didn't. The ones I heard didn't really have audio. They were playing just. So she put up another one here too.
Panda's got to be exhausted.
Oh yeah.
He's got to be exhausted.
I think even in his text earlier, he's like, "Leaving Mardi Gras makes you feel like you got hit by a bus."
Yeah.
I mean, alcohol and
There,
madness.
yeah, there are some places I just remember sitting in the airport, and the two airports that are the most depressing to me in the country are the airport in New Orleans and Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Both of those places,
Yeah.
I've just sat there with anxiety, guilt, shame,
It was insane what
nausea.
Bourbon Street is at nighttime compared to right when the sun breaks. It is just depressing as shit.
It is.
It is, man.
It's rough, yeah. I've only been sober on Bourbon Street one time, and all that stuck out to me was how sticky everything was.
Bourbon.
It's so gross. Every railing you touch, anything, it's just sticky and gross.
Bourbon Street felt like I was walking through an atmosphere of sin. I could still feel it in the atmosphere. The air was thick with sin.
It was. It's got that feel. No doubt about it. All right, so we'll get back to form tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Got some comments from today's show. Julie talking about TGL that went on last night, the SoFi Center in Palm Beach Gardens. I've yet to go and see that. Tiger Woods played his last match there of the season because his team, Jupiter Lynx, got eliminated. But you did have Derek Jeter, you had Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills, Celine Dion. They were all in attendance in Palm Beach Gardens. And Julie said, yeah, my husband and I went to TGL last night. We had a great time. We are hooked. TV definitely doesn't do it justice. It was obviously more fun in person, and my suggestions would be to be more electric if they would do it on a Friday or Saturday, because Monday or Tuesday just doesn't really lend itself to getting rowdy like they want. Also on TV, the players are mic'd up and you can hear their conversations, but in person, you cannot hear them. Okay, yeah, that would take from it. And keep in mind, they only have 1,500 people there, so this is not something where you see other sports where it could survive just on that. I mean, this is really nothing but a studio to showcase this for television.
So they do it on Monday and Tuesday. That's pretty awful.
Yeah,
You're also
it
competing
is.
against wrestling.
It's been odd. Well, and the reason why is because they're on ESPN, and ESPN's like, this isn't going to do better than the games that we're running typically on a Friday or Saturday. And so I assume that's why it got the crappy nights it did. But yeah, there's a couple things just don't feel like it's sinking right now on that. But maybe they could make some tweaks and bring it back next year and be a little bit better. I thought that they should introduce some celebrities, and if they could get it on a Friday night, that'd be great, because there are a lot of times on Friday. There is NBA and what, but why not give it a
Monday
shot?
you are competing with some wrestling, which I think
Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that is. What is that on? Is that USA Network that runs that?
I don't know. Are they on Netflix now?
I don't, because I still, maybe they did move it over because I used to get it because my son had set it to record. So I just know from the DVR. I haven't seen it on there for a while. Maybe it is all on Netflix. And what was interesting to me on Netflix was the language they use now.
I know. No,
Did they use bad words?
Oh, big time.
Really?
F-bombs, all that stuff.
What?
You got me so jacked up. I went back and watched the John Cena turned heel, turned bad with The Rock.
How
Was it good? Or was it cheesy?
Well, I mean, it's good.
Of course, it's
cheesy.
It's everything you want, though.
It's everything you.
Was it that amazing? Because my son was just raving about it.
I like the idea of John Cena going back because they have John Cena really hyping up the American Nightmare. He's the champ and he's being all, God, this guy, they're all here for you, man. So. Me knowing there's a turn about to happen, I go, he's overhyping how excited he is because he's about to fuck over this guy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And the Rock comes out, and it really is about 5 to 6 minutes of them just walking, looking out at the audience, stopping, looking out at the audience, not doing much. And then they finally, like minute 7, they'll get on the microphone.
Okay.
It's so much hype.
Yeah, look, The Rock is a master of this, knowing how to work a crowd and get everything. So, I'm sure timing is a big part of it. Being like, okay, let it breathe.
But John Cena goes from being all nice and all of a sudden his face turns all Denny's, I love when the good guy turns heel.
Seems like it's going well. What I would like to know is what is The Rock's deal with WWE?
They love him.
Well, I know, but I think he's got an ownership stake in it now, and I'm wondering what percent, how much is he making from it? Because that's the only thing, that's what makes sense, that being the huge movie star that he is, why he would even lend his time to this. And this probably would be his off-ramp because, look, he could ride this. He can do his movie career, and for him to have the wrestling, that's a nice... You always had that security blanket.
You got to watch a little bit of the clip. Just maybe watch about 20 seconds of it. Just when John Cena turned. But The Rock, holy shit, does he look like he just eats steroids for breakfast.
Yeah, he's
massive.
just so massive.
Massive.
Yeah. I don't know how he eats and just lifts all the time.
But it's all natural, Denny's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kevin, come on. Okay, allegedly it's all natural.
I'm with you. I'm not. He's got that puffiness about him.
There's no way that is, in my opinion, all natural.
I gotta see. I haven't seen The Rock in years.
Dude, he's massive.
Mm-hmm. Got some comments from today's regular show. One of these was somebody who had a little girl, no older than 10, thought she was probably younger than that, came up and said, I got separated from my mom. I'm not sure what store she's in now. Can I use your phone to call her? And, he allowed it. But what was odd was she's like, oh, okay, all right, so you're in Lululemon? All right, fine. And then he watched the little girl just because he thought the whole thing was odd, and she went right past the Lululemon and kept on walking. He's like, okay, so did I just get scammed or what? And Stephanie said, letting a 10-year-old use your phone is a total scam. Coming from a mom of a 10-year-old, no 10-year-old has their parents' phone number by heart. Maybe 10 years ago that was a thing, but not nowadays. But they will know how to get your CC info and send money via Cash App. That's what I heard. You don't let your phone out of your hands. Is they were going on the phone, even kids, they were training them to get in there and so quickly hit your Cash App, and then they send themselves thousands of dollars, and they can do it that fast. I'm like, how would you know how to do that and get through that? That's crazy to me.
Because it's not that hard to do, and if you teach a kid how to do it and train them, it would be so easy for them to do it.
Yeah.
Apple Pays in your text messages. You could just slide right over to a text message and send money right through a text.
Well, look at Rocco. He's 9 years old, and I know for a fact he could drain my savings if he wanted to.
He knows how
having
all
my
that
phone
works.
is 5 seconds.
Yeah, Angie and Emerald said, well, our kids, 3-year-old, 6-year-old, no, they know the number. So I don't know if that's a blanket thing. And that might be because the kid maybe doesn't have their own phone. And so like, okay, you got to know mommy's number in case you ever wind up in a situation where you got to get a hold of me.
Even in today's day of tech, I would want my kid to have
Try to
mom
remember
and dad's numbers memorized. We would
It
quiz
should
that
be.
one.
Yeah,
quiz.
because you never know what might happen. Your phone gets broken or something, weird goes down. Yeah, you do need to have that committed to memory.
I'm trying to think if I have any remembered. I think I have my dad's remembered. That's the only one.
I've got Kevin Ralston, the Kevin Ralston's
Okay.
memorized, and I have my childhood houses memorized, and that is it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've slipped. Like I think I only have my father's memorized.
Wow. Yeah, I got I had mine and my wife's. That's it. Don't even know the kids.
I think when I first got on the show, I was just getting a cell phone, so I was still in that space of memorizing numbers. And as soon as I got into the tech world, you become lazy.
Yeah.
I learned no one's number ever again.
I used to have so many memorized. I had all my friends memorized. I had my parents memorized, my home, all of it.
I wonder if I called my childhood house, who would answer?
Yeah.
I have 2 I could call.
Okay.
Do you call and just,
No.
I'm just,
No way.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I
Well,
just,
I didn't
now.
expect that.
I mean, how many people really do have? Do you guys have a house phone? Any of you have a house phone?
No.
Nope.
No.
I kind of want one.
I think they give it to you for free now if you sign up for, Comcast or any of those.
I kind of like the idea of only getting my messages right when I walk in my house and not always being so just anyone can get you at any time. It's hard to come up with an excuse if you really want to avoid somebody.
Yeah. You know what's weird? I don't know if it's age or a sign of the times, but I remember going back, I'm old enough, when I would walk in the house and you would see the light on the answering machine blinking.
You'd be excited.
I would get so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it would blink how many messages you had. I'd be like, oh, if I had like 4 or 5, I'm like, this is so exciting. But now, if I look and I missed 3 or 4 calls, I'm like, oh gosh. It's the exact opposite reaction.
The worst would be you go out and you're waiting for a girl to call you back that you like. Maybe you went on a date back.
Thrilling.
You come back home, you hit play, you have no messages.
Oh,
You go,
heartbreaking.
Yeah,
fuck.
so I wonder if it's because now everything, when somebody wants to get a hold of me, it's usually they need something of me, and I'm like, this is a time suck, and it's not awesome. So is it just because of the age that I'm in, or a sign of the times? Like, would my son, Cannon, who's 16, if he sees he has messages, does he get excited? Oh, yeah.
I deliberately try to send you half and half. Sometimes I got to get a hold of you, but the other times I'll just send you, I can't believe how big of a cheese dick Gene Simmons is, and then I'll send you Gene Simmons.
I love that. Yeah, those are the best. Getting kiss updates from Bird.
You get a lot of kiss updates from me.
Yeah.
We just get too many messages now. Social media, you got your phone.
It is. It's a chore. It really is.
Ugh.
And some days, like, I think I'm done with my day, and I'm like, I didn't check my email. Oh, son of a bitch.
Or
And
you
that's-
go to reply and you go, I'll do this tomorrow, and then you forget about it, and then it's 3 days later and you see the person.
Oh, I got such a
I had
scathing.
that with text messages.
I got a scathing email because I didn't answer back in a day, and it was when I had the flu. And I'm like, I have the flu, but you should really get back to people. I'm like, oh, okay.
I need peace.
I'm like, all right.
Candace said I had 2 young girls at a restaurant when I was on a road trip, asked to use my phone, but my instinct said something was off, so I said no, because I got mugged years ago by this old grandmother who distracted me while somebody came up behind me and stole my wallet. So
jeez.
That's messed up. Well, you know what they say? 9 out of 10 little girls in parking lots are pulling off a scam.
and grandmas.
And grandmas.
Stephanie's talking about the phone usage in schools. Broward is the one that has banned them. And Palm Beach and Miami-Dade, they allow them with certain circumstances. And Stephanie says, you might hear that Broward County banned cell phones, but that is a joke. The Broward County school system is a joke. Oh, I just moved out of there for that very reason. I've got 3 kids, each in elementary, high school, and middle school, and all 3 of them would text me throughout the day from their Broward County school. Yeah, the teachers would reprimand them, but that was it. Now we're in Martin County, and I was told by a vice principal that having your phone out during the day is the same as having a weapon at school in the eyes of the county. Consequences are they take the phone away and they keep it at the office until a parent comes to pick it up. And I told my kid, if that happens, getting your phone will not be my priority, and I'll leave it there all year if I have to. I can never reach my kids now during the day.
So what's better? Your kids sneaking off and texting you, or not being able to at all? Like, what do people prefer? I feel like having a phone in class has got to be distracting, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
of
well,
course.
and I started the topic just because I've received 5 emails. It's the same damn email from my son's school. I'm like, is this an accident? It's like, I get the message. Yes, kids are using their phones too much and it's a distraction. And my kid has too many tardies. I get all that. But yeah, they send it to me 5 times in a week. And I was like, okay, do I need to reply to get off my ass? And then I replied, and it's one of those ones you can't reply to. So I'm almost to the point I'm going to block the school, I think, from sending me emails because my inbox is already it gives me anxiety. Every time I click into my inbox, it's like, you have 45 new emails.
I'll tell you who'll love it if you block the school. Cannon.
He would. Yeah, you're right, he would. Yeah, I would have nothing to call him on. He lost his betting app today. I don't know if there's a hold. It's always interesting to watch my wife in the course of discipline, but
what do you mean?
He lost it.
Yeah. So last night, I was in bed. So they have a whole world that I'm not aware of because I go to bed at 6 p.m.
World 2.
Yeah. There's a whole world in a life that my family lives that because of this job I'm not a part of. And so last night she was supposed to pick him up, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit late." And he was more than a little bit. 2.5 hours later.
Oh,
my
that's a
wife
big
was
one.
waiting,
That's almost as long as Titanic.
She finally got a hold of him because I guess she said, "You know what, just Uber home." He's like, no, wait, I'll be right there. 2.5 hours. She finally texted him. She's like, She's like, "I'm going home. Like, this is ridiculous." And she went and looked because she gives him money to pay for the Uber. And she saw the money she had given him for an Uber. He had spent all but just a couple dollars of it on a bet. And she said, "I don't know how you're getting home, and I don't care." She said, "If you got to walk, you got to walk from Boca and to West Palm." And so she came home, and I'm like, he made it home. And I'm like, "How'd he get home?" She's like, "I have no idea."
Maybe he ran like how she used to run when her dad would drop.
And that's more than 15 miles, though.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that takes a long time to
That
drive.
is more than 15 miles. So, yeah, I don't know how that all went down. And then she came in today, and she's like, "Give me that Hard Rock app." And she went delete, and she's like, "It's gone." So, with my wife, that's always the dance. She can be still the biggest hard ass, but then caves if she gets into a good mood or you do something nice and they'll be back. So the question is, how long until Cannon gets the app back?
That's what I was going to ask. Is this a 2-day punishment, or does he not have that app until he's 18?
I don't know. Actually, Caitlin's in the chat. She said, "Yeah, I had to pay for the Uber." So...
Oh, he hit up sister.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have Caitlin answer. How long is this app gone for? She said it's probably a 2-hour punishment.
Wow. 2 hour.
That's just it. You're like, and I'm always like, good for you, Queen. That's the way it should
Putting
be.
the foot down.
Yeah, I'm the hard ass. I'm like, do it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what are we doing? I thought we sent a good message. We're over this gambling thing, and then it's back and it's better than ever.
Are you cool for as a segment? Me, Denny's, Virginia, and the listeners can all bet on when Cannon gets his betting app back.
I think you should.
Okay, can we start our own poll?
Let's start it right now because it. And I'm racing to get ready for work. People have no idea what it's like, but I'm just like, I'm so stressed. I get up, I'm on my computer starting at 2 a.m., but I'm racing, just rushing, trying to get everything ready. So I'm sitting there, and my wife had told me this story. I'm like, kind of half listening, but I'm like the clock's ticking. I have alarms going off saying, "Get your ass to work, get your ass to work." She comes in, she's like, "So you deleted that app, right?" I'm like, "No." She's like, I'm like, "Here, you do it." I'm like, I got shit I got to do.
People have some KVJ Nation got a good point. Did you delete the app and the account, or just the app? It's kind of like
I don't know. I saw my wife took the money out of it because I got an email about, yes, your money was like $57 was in the gambling app, and so she got that out. So I don't know if she closed it or what. Because like I said, I handed it off. I'm like, "All right, here, you do it."
Did he at least win the bet, or he was out that money?
Don't know. I don't know the results on that either.
What if he comes back and says, "Guys, but I made $5,000.
He did. He had, the last time we checked, he had $5,000 in his account.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. He has a shit ton more money than I do.
So does he just keep reinvesting that into
I don't know.
different bets?
Like I said, there's too much, and that's a problem with me. Like it's either I do my job well or I'm a good parent.
How is
so you just can't have both.
But how is it legal? If he's under, is he doing it illegally?
He's doing it on my app.
He's doing it on your app as you as an adult, so they think
Right.
an adult's doing it.
Yeah.
Got ya.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm breaking the code on that. So that's fatherly mistake one. Yeah, like I said, I can either be a good radio host or I can be a good dad.
Which one do you guys want?
Yeah. What do you guys want from me? Start being a good dad, the things are going to go downhill.
So when they play this in court, this audio,
Here, I'll pull it for the inevitable case.
Absolutely.
when we get subpoenaed,
And I think it was all on ping pong. I don't know. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Caitlin says 2 hours. So tomorrow I'll let you know. Does he already have the app back?
Okay, I'm going to say he gets it back on Saturday. That's where I'm placing my bet.
That feels right. Give it a couple days. Let him have it back on the weekend.
The one thing is he is good at. He does understand that, okay, when I kiss ass, then everyone caves. Grandma caves. Mom caves. And they come at him. And I'm always like, yeah, good for you. Discipline, finally. His grandma will be yelling at him. She's like, I'm never giving you money for this again. I'm like, good for you, Grandma. You shouldn't. And then 10 minutes later, will $200 do? And I'm like,
wow.
Hi, stop.
So he's good at kissing ass?
Yeah, he just, Caitlin's right. 2 hours, they fold and I'm like, yes, finally, here we go. Be that wall. Be that hard ass.
People are already placing their bets. Michael Crawford in the chat, he says Friday is when he gets the app. I'm saying Saturday.
I say I would try to make him wait till Monday because then he thinks he's getting it back for the weekend. He doesn't, and then you hit him with him on Monday, and he's like, all right, I'm appreciative.
That's what you would do, but what would you bet on?
What is it today? Thursday?
Today's Thursday.
I'd say tomorrow, Thursday. I'd say Thursday.
He gets it back Saturday.
I'm predicting, I think he'll get it back on Friday if he plays his cards right. But the one thing that would do it, he starts his 7-on-7 football on Sunday. If he goes out there and has a good game, then I think the Queen be like, all right.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
All right.
So if he,
I think that would do it. I think, if I were trying to instruct Canada on how you got to get, first of all, you got to kiss ass. Got to get your mom in a good mood. That could happen by Friday, but if you ball out on Sunday, and then that's first thing. Be like, oh man, yeah, I'd love to play.
You better put some points on the board, son.
Yes, I think that would do it.
Well, then you're rewarding him, which is good. You want him scoring.
Yeah, to me, it should be gone for good. But yeah, I know I'm not winning that one, so I'm not going to get in it.
Gosh, my parents would ban me from stuff for so long, like months.
And that's good. You should.
They would come in and unplug all my stuff, and then it would be gone for months.
Yeah, because I'd be all about it. Because like I said, I thought it was going to be a cute little thing, the gambling thing that would help bond us. It's anything but.
I want to get some of this action on the 7-on-7 game. Who's favored to win, and who do I have to put down my bet with?
It's a good guess. Yeah, I'm not sure who all is in the field, but there are definitely some favorites. So we'll see. I'd right now put the money on Cardinal Gibbons.
Okay, Gibbies, all right.
Pretty solid. They have like 80 people on their 7-on-7 team. So.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Becky talking here about how to do with the birds. You got a bird feeder, but now you got a bunch of birds eating out of it, not the ones you want, the black crow kind of birds, and they're just crapping all over the place. Becky said what you want is a bird bath or two. Because it's the cutest thing. They're drinking, taking baths. There's no mess. It's much cheaper. And all you have to do is just put a little water in it. And you're good.
Okay. So they're saying just say screw the bird feeder. Get rid of that thing.
I think so. She's saying go on a different route.
You're attracting the wrong clientele.
Yeah, well, you can get what you ideally want. Maybe the crows don't bathe, so.
I wanted to summon some cardinals because I love cardinals, but then my friend got in my head and they go, "No, man, you're doing it wrong. You don't summon the cardinal summons you." And then I was like, shit, I actually believe that. You're right. If you're enticing the cardinal, it's not really that magic moment of being visited by a cardinal.
Yeah.
I don't know, it hit me hard, Dennis.
Yeah, she also said you can lay little bowls of water out on the ground for bunnies and squirrels, put little rocks or stones in half of the bird bath for bees to come drink safely. They will not bother you or the other animals. Just leave the crows alone. Don't be mean to them or be inviting to them. Just let them be. Crows are incredibly intelligent and will act out. They remember how you treat them, so think twice about interacting with them. I'm respectful, but I don't try to reach out because they're very intense, and I don't want to put that much energy into my birds. Look it up.
Oh, my gosh.
Tons of documentaries and articles about crow intelligence.
Sounds like
there are.
Sounds like one of my exes.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd never be mean to a crow.
Right.
I love birds.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen you mistreat a bird.
Now, is it my favorite to when I'm looking at birds and would I rather see a cardinal or a blue jay? Yeah.
Than a crow? We got murder crows
but
here.
I ain't got no hate for crows.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there is a note, too. People were saying you will have to clean out that bird bath, though, and it can get dirty fast. So
yeah, I hear you.
That's the downside of it. But I think you just turn it over,
Yeah.
drop the one, and just real quick, and I don't think it'd be much.
Was it yesterday I was talking about how I love the Antique Roadshow on
Yep.
PBS, and then today I'm talking about birds. And, yeah, no, I'm getting,
Yeah, your hobbies are
I'm getting fucking old.
you're living that lifestyle, baby. A robe and slippers, you got that yet?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. A lot of emails about the saddest movie scenes. The beginning of Up, Bradley said. Groot, when he basically saves everybody at the ends of Guardians of the Galaxy,
Well, I mean,
Steven said.
These are some major spoiler alerts. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they kind of are. Yep, you're all screwed if you listen to this and you haven't seen these. Got to get on them.
I didn't know this would happen.
Groot.
Martin said at the end of Click, when he's running after his son, then trips and falls. That movie got me by the feels too.
The ending is sad.
Yeah, that spoke to me. That was something there.
When it's raining and his son's holding him.
Yeah.
Does it make you sad or just kind of like feel weird and depressed? Shelby from that one movie with Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really watched that because Steel Magnolias,
Magnolias.
right?
Steel
Yeah,
Magnolias.
that's not really my thing. I think I know enough of it, but yeah, it didn't move me.
You want me to send you a link? Of
No.
just that scene?
No. Got an email here that says, you guys need to watch the SNL skit 2 Beers. It's the funniest skit I've seen in 20 years. I'm listening to your podcast about the cocaine, and the skit keeps coming up in my head. You guys are amazing. Keep up the great work, Anthony. Thanks. Yeah, that was good. You know, and to be fair, and I tried to say I didn't go into specifics, but Shane Gillis, I only watched the first 3 minutes of his monologue, and it was kind of rough. It was a little cringy, but the skits, the 2 Beers was good. So it's like you have 2 beers, but and it was just a big can of beer. Basically, it was to, depression, all that kind of stuff, prescribed by my doctor. But he said, but sometimes you get a little drowsy, and that's when your doctor should prescribe a little bump. And it was like cocaine in a packet with a key that came with it. It was a funny skit. His skits were pretty solid. And like I said, a lot of the stuff I see him do was amusing. And he had a couple things in his monologue that were okay, but I'm not sure he's necessarily stand-up kind of funny ha-ha guy, right? He's just kind of more...
He is.
Oh, he is?
Oh, no, he does a
okay.
lot of stand-up.
Okay. Because somebody had said that he's not real great at stand-up, but his show's funny and his other stuff's funny.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Okay.
He's got a massive audience right now. He's one of the guys right now.
Yeah, I know he does. Well, he's on with Pat McAfee a lot. He does a lot of the ESPN stuff, obviously with the Post Malone. So if you're in that kind of sports universe, you've seen Shane Gillis a lot, and he's been entertaining. And I don't know, you probably don't know, Nick Saban's a football coach at Alabama, and he was on the show with him. He's very straight, doesn't laugh a lot. And Shane Gillis said something pissed off Nick Saban, and it was pretty hysterical.
He does a shit ton of podcasts, too. He's always on Kill Tony a lot.
Yeah,
his
Bud Light commercials I thought were very funny. So, yeah, most of the stuff I've seen from him was good. I was a little surprised at his monologue. At least the first 3 minutes was a little clunky.
He does a really good Trump impersonation.
He did, yeah.
He
saw him when he was
way
on
better than the guy in SNL.
Yeah, he did the Trump when he was on the first time. That's when they had the Trump shoes. And that was a great skit. That was very funny.
On Kill Tony, they had him as Trump and this other guy named Adam. I forget his name, Adam something, and he was Biden, and they were sitting next to each other,
okay.
and they both pulled it off pretty good. And they were being, obscene and over the top with it because that's that kind of show.
Yeah, I didn't realize the Kill Tony because I looked a little bit more into that. That's Tony Hinchcliffe, is that right? Okay, yeah.
That's the dude that got in trouble.
He was at the Trump rally, and then I had seen him. He also, too, was on College Game Day. And I think he said something a little south of what ESPN would want to air, if I remember right.
That's what he does. He says over the top things. He's part of the roast.
Right.
His whole thing is roasting comedians when they're on his show.
Yeah, but he goes for it.
He will say something to get people mad and pissed off.
Yeah, because people were kind of all upset at him, and when he said what he said on ESPN, I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but people were like, dude, you know what he does.
His friend...
don't put him on if you don't want that.
The other guy that's in that group too, Ari Shaffir, he does the same kind of thing. He's the one that said the Kobe stuff that got... Remember when he went in front of where Kobe, I think the team that drafted Kobe, and right when Kobe passed away, he did a hate video towards Kobe.
Right.
I mean, people lost their minds. Same kind of thing. They like to fire people up.
Yeah. Remy said, people watch SNL. You know what's really interesting to me in today's era that I find odd is how comedy's just divided down the line. And,
it is.
You know, I don't know what is the right move for SNL. Should they never have a Shane Gillis on that's going to do comedy that will appear to people that are more conservative and right wing, keep it all liberal? Because look, all the talk hosts, your Kimmel and Colbert, I mean, those guys are just not even. I mean, they're very liberal, and
It's
not
one-sided.
even. It's very one-sided, and SNL for the most part has felt like that. When I was a kid, though, and even in college, I thought SNL was balanced. I felt like I remember the Dana Carvey skits, and they did a lot of political commentary, and it was all funny, and it was making fun the right way it should.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing felt like it was a reach or they were attacking anybody. They were just going for what was comedic about Democrats and Republicans, and I love that. But
they were definitely more balanced. I think they always leaned a little left, but yeah,
Right.
they were without a doubt more balanced. I think more concerned about making people laugh. And I'm not saying Saturday Night Live can't be funny. I think when they produce
yeah, I
certain
think I
things,
still
think
see
they
funny
can,
things.
But they got some shitty sketches as well.
Yeah, but they always have.
They always have.
Right. I don't know that, people are like, oh, it's terrible. I don't think it's one way or the other, but they definitely are very biased in their political comedy
But
now.
I
It's
think-
not even debatable.
I think it's important to have all sides.
I do too, and
represented.
I love that and miss
have
that.
debate. I mean, when something's so one-sided, it really starts to become a bit boring.
I agree. I don't like it. I'm a person that's in the middle, so I love laughing at both. And I think a majority of Americans are in the middle now. But yeah, it's kind of odd because you get like your Rob Schneiders on the. It's like you have to pick a side. Are you a right or left comedian? And then they seem to just have their audiences.
But keep in mind too, comedians are always trying to find their way and their lane to find a place to still keep their act going, and you're always trying to find that avenue and that lane. And a lot of people, I don't know, like it if you speak out on certain things. And I'm noticing a certain trend. Some of the SNL older guys are going more conservative on more conservative talk shows.
Yeah.
And doing stuff like your Jim Brewers and your Rob
Schneider.
Schneiders.
Yeah, and they find an audience all of a sudden loves them.
Yeah,
right. Loves Rob Schneider now.
That's not true. Get Virginia on the phone.
No, she was. I mean, the right.
Oh, I thought
I'm
you
saying,
said. I thought you said everybody loves Rob Schneider.
No, the right. Yeah, they seem to like him. And some people said, I don't like I love political comedy. I always have, but I like it to be balanced. I don't like when it's, so far on one side or the other. That does not. When it comes out there, I'm like, all right, then I don't like it. And that's why I haven't liked some of the SNL political commentary. Because it's just so, it's like, all right, well, you're not going to make fun of the other side too?
I got nothing to, it was nothing more than, I just never thought political comedy was funny. I was never offended. But when I would watch SNL and they'd always make fun of politicians, it was always my least favorite. But keep in mind, I wasn't in that world. I didn't know who they're making fun of.
Yeah.
If Adam Sandler's doing a goofy song about a red hooded sweatshirt, I understand what he's talking about.
Yeah, this was when I was in college, and I started as a poli-sci major, so I love politics, and the humor of it was great, and they were doing it balanced then, but yeah, they've definitely given that up. Engineer Keith talking a little bit about the show Severance that seems like it's getting a lot of traction now. Ben Stiller is the guy behind it. He was talking about, I didn't realize Keanu Reeves is one of the voices in it. So it's got a good cast, good actors, and you do see some big names that are popping in. It makes sense when you got the Ben Stiller behind it. But I had compared it to, it had to feel like Lost, just in the way that there's a lot of little hidden numbers and languages and signs you're looking for and this and that. So that's really about what my comparison was. And he said Lost ultimately disappointed due to the writer's strike, and they abandoned some storylines and that inconsistent narrative style. It had the potential to be more meaningful and entertaining, but the ending felt cheap and unresolved. The show should have been more definitive about winning, losing, and character arcs, but in contrast, Severance consistently follows through with its storylines. The deliberate choices in the background, such as the names, lighting, religion, history, technology, etc., is rich and meaningful narrative. While there might be similarities to Lost in the themes of purgatory, Severance is more specific to work and institutions. So that is his commentary on that. But yeah, it's getting to the point, I don't know how it's going to finish. I still am not recommending that anyone checks out Severance because it is a slow burn. to get into it. And if you don't like all those little contextual clues and all that, then you may be like, I don't have time for that. Joe said, talking about slow-burning shows, just a quick email to call out that Ozark, I think, should be on that list. The show took nearly an entire season to pick up, and honestly, I felt like the entire series was a slow burn. For me, I really enjoy the ones that start off quickly, like Sons of Anarchy or Wednesday from the Addams Family. You know, the one thing I would tell you on that is I agree. I like the ones that start quickly as well, but I thought Ozark did. Because Ozark, I'm going to say something real quick on the start of the show, but I think it actually brings you in. They start off right away with his partner getting blasted in the head and killed because he had taken the cartel's money.
Spoiler alert.
That's why I gave you that quick little spoiler. You had to hit pause or whatever. Yeah, so I disagree with that. And immediately it got me, the anxiety of like, holy shit. And then you saw like they mean business and they gave him a second chance to be like, all right, you're going to work for us. And if anything goes south, there's any glitch whatsoever, we're doing exactly to you what happened to your partner. So to me, it set the tone of anxiety like right from the jump. Yeah, so I disagree. I don't think Ozark is a slow burn at all. I thought that grabbed me from the first episode. And this email says, just a quick heads up. There's a preview for a show I saw called The Bondsman on Amazon Prime starring Kevin Bacon that looks legit. It comes out on April 3rd.
Your boy Bird over here is a bacon head. I love me some Kevin Bacon.
I do
think
too.
that guy is solid as shit.
You want to look at somebody that has a very impressive IMDb or movie list of what he's been in, how he's done. He's done comedy, he's done drama, he's done everything, and just honestly seems like an awesome human. His relationship with Kira Sedgwick, watching them on their farm together, what a great couple, and just they seem amazing.
If they really love each other like that, that really is quite an awesome thing to see,
So
especially
awesome.
in Hollywood where
right.
everyone's breaking up.
And they both got ripped off by Madoff too.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they were one of the couples that lost a lot of money.
Did they really?
Yeah, I remember reading that, and I was always happy and cheering for them because I was always a bacon head as well.
Yeah.
He plays a good prick too. He can play a really good jerk.
Yeah.
A great prick. I
He can
saw
play a bad
him.
guy.
I saw him in a recent show. I can't remember what it was, but he was the prick bad guy, and he was so good in it.
There's a movie. It's super heavy, but it's good, called Sleepers, and he
is
plays
a bad person.
an evil son of a bitch, and man, does he pull it off. You want to reach through the screen and punch him. He does
bad.
that great of a job as just an evil fuck.
Oh yeah, really good at that. Well, you remember him in Animal House? He was the unlikable prick.
I
in
really
that?
don't. I don't know if I've ever seen Animal House.
Okay,
it's one of those classics I haven't
It
seen.
is.
He's real young, but I mean, he starts off in that. He is so unlikable, such a great prick in that just amazing. But he, then he has Footloose, where you absolutely love him. So
Come on, Ren McCormick.
yeah.
And he gets killed in Friday the 13th.
Spoiler.
All right,
we're-
that's a spoiler alert
You
from the
know what?
70s.
I'm just gonna have to title this whole podcast "Spoiler Alert."
That's all we're doing is
It's
spoiling
just
everything.
a spoiler alert. That's all it is. We're just ruining shows.
We are.
Does he get killed first?
I think so. He gets, I don't want to keep spoiling it,
Might
but he
as
gets
well. I mean,
stabbed through the
we're
bed,
already
right?
pissing people off.
Doesn't he get stabbed through the bed and he's like, "Ah."
I mean, technically, the counselors from the '60s get killed first, and then because I don't want to spoil it anymore.
But yeah, kind of looking at what the Kevin Bacon show is. Now, this is interesting. It says Kevin Bacon returns from the dead to track down demons in the new Amazon Prime series, The Bondsman. So it sounds like it's got that kind of maybe sci-fi kind of element to it or
All
something.
right.
So, it might be a little departure with that, but that's...
The bondsman, is he a bondsman for, souls or something? He's got to bring them back if they...
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. They could tie in Footloose.
Melissa says, my 12-year-old daughter has watched all 6 seasons of Cobra Kai and watched and fell in love with the original Karate Kid movie, and she's going to watch the second one tomorrow after school. I hope this makes Jaybird happy.
Warms my heart. It does. I'm tickled pink.
Yes.
And they say,
I love when little kids love classic things. I think it's so awesome.
those movies get a little goofier as they progress, though.
Man, you always go in. All my friends go in on Karate Kid Part 2 and 3.
2, the part that's weird to me is when they're trying to show off how macho they are and they're karate chopping the ice blocks. in the bar. Like, that's so weird to me.
Well, they're trying to make some money.
I know. It's just the bar's already equipped with ice blocks so they could show off their karate
Oh,
skills.
what, man? You think you can do better? You think you can do better, man?
I thought that was a weird.
Part
They couldn't
three-
arm wrestle?
No,
So
part
that's-
3 of Karate Kid series is the weirdest, and it's so odd if you really break it down. And I love it. It's so cheesy. It's
Yeah.
so
It's
pretty
basically
bad.
adults harassing a kid because he won a karate tournament.
Yeah, you're going, why is this one guy, this billionaire,
He's rich.
risking it all just to fuck up this teenage kid's karate tournament in this small town in California? Like,
It's
nobody
so
gives
random.
a shit about it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's a
That
weird
is.
story.
It is a very weird story. All right. Well, appreciate all of your emails and for checking out the After the Show. Virginia back with us tomorrow. We're hoping so. We'll see y'all back here then. Have a good one. Goodbye.